Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
How does your leg feel today?
Oh, feeling good.
So what happened to you? What happened?
Just crap.
Just a cramp?
Yeah, just crap.
So you told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better?
Bananas.
Yeah. Why bananas?
Monkeys never craps. Monkey never crap. Because a monkey every day bananas. 2,
So how many did you have today?
3, power 3.
Oh yeah. So you no more cramp for you.
I need 3 banana because monkey never craps.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Arigato.
Like a duct-taped hot dog across the face. It's the audience of one show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you tend to get your podcasts from. On today's show, we discuss foods that are being outlawed, losing a toe in a very strange way, and when covering your cough goes wrong. I am Andrew, maestro of the run sheet, next to the guy who has a great fear of slipping in the shower. It's Dick. I'm the king of non-emergencies. Schisler. Non-emergency Dick. How are you, buddy?
What's up? That's what the ladies call me.
Non-emergency Dick.
I don't get booty calls. You're my non-emergency.
Non-emergency. Oh, I love it. Well, this is an extremely special show.
It's our 100th episode.
It is our 100th episode,
know.
man. I'm so proud of us. Look at us go. Can't be stopped. You know, Betty White never made it to 100.
Guess you did. That was her body count.
Oh.
Ooh. Hot piece.
You know who did make it to 100? Wilt Chamberlain. He scored 100 once. Pretty proud of him.
I don't think they ever had that on.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually did.
Yeah.
It's official. He had it on a piece of
I know.
paper.
That's what I like about
written
that
in a
kind
pen.
of stuff.
Yeah, I love back then in sports records. They were so fast and loose with everything. Who knows if he actually scored? It's close enough. Just say it's 100.
Yeah, I like it.
Speaking of 100, old Jimmy Carter, our president,
He
who
died
just
at
passed
100?
away. He died at 100, which got me thinking about some of the cool things that he saw in his life. Like he saw Mickey Mantle play baseball, but he also saw like the Catch Me Outside girl. You know, that's
Hawk-Tua girl.
and he saw Hawk-Tua.
That was his last memory.
Yeah, it's quite a life he's lived.
No, my grandmother lived till 105, and the only reason she died was she worked out every day, and she fell.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like she had like a workout incident where the bar came down. and
No,
crushed her.
she liked doing the bike.
I was doing some squats, bro.
And she fell, and she didn't live in assisted living.
Wow, at what age was this?
105.
Okay, so she was exercising at 105.
Oh, yeah, she actually
unassisted, no spotter on her bench press. Just said,
and then she
"Bring
had
it on,
that
bro."
terrible. I think she was alone for like 12 hours or something like
throw
that.
on another plate. She said, "All right, wow,
Yeah,
that's."
and then she was alone for 12 hours, and then like a friend, a neighbor or something always checked on her, and that's when she got. They found her. They took her to the hospital, and then she died within like.
So would you say that exercising extended her life, or it ultimately killed her?
No, I think what it did is it gave her something to do, and that's one thing
Gotta have
because she was
something to
sharp. Because my other great grandmother, not sharp, and totally opposite.
Not a listener either.
Yeah,
Apparently.
deteriorated like crazy. She went downhill real fast.
Aw.
And but it was her. Actually, it was her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She outlived her daughter. So my grandmother. I'm talking about my grandmother now because this is my great grandmother was 105.
Oh, okay. Now it's all making sense.
But she was sharp as a tack. Because I remember when I think it was 1996, the Bulls won.
They did.
And she lived in Chicago. And we happened to be visiting her for her birthday. And it was nuts. It was chaos.
Yeah, that was the year Michael Jordan came back and they won their first of their second three-peat.
And I remember being down there, and I think they played the Rockets.
No, they did not.
Did
they played the Suns. No, they play Utah Jazz.
It's not probably.
Something.
But
Utah
yeah,
Jazz?
it was
I don't remember
interesting
now.
because I was like, everyone was celebrating. And they're like, "Oh, you're here to celebrate?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm not from here." And like people were in the hotel going nuts and all that kind of stuff.
I
But
bet. Well, I have some interesting facts about the number 100. In numerology, the number 100 represents energy that is self-determined, independent, and has infinite potential.
a century.
Yeah, doesn't really describe the audience of one show, but hey.
I like it. I like it.
It said
Would you
100
wanna-
Huh? What? Go ahead.
Would you want to live to 100?
I think it depends on how I feel. If the mind is healthy, I suppose I could do it. But if the mind starts going, not a chance. And that's at any age, really. If the mind starts going at 50, man, that's a cruel joke. So I'd say if the body is intact and I'm still hitting it with the ladies, let's go, buddy. 100, bring it on.
Yeah. Is that how you know you're still going? As you're hitting it with the ladies?
I don't know. If I'm still capable.
Yeah. I don't really know because it's like there's at one point because I remember everyone's had a grandfather and grew up with a grandfather. If you're a guy, if you have a grandmother when you're a girl, like you watch them because it's like you kind of see yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, if I hit 78, what am I going to be doing? Like, what's my grandfather doing right now?
Right. Yeah. Is that what I'm going to look like? Is that my future?
Oh, I'm convinced I'm going to turn into a troll, but I got to be doing something. So I'm like, what should I start doing now?
Who lives under a bridge? Mm-hmm.
that I could do when I'm 70 to 100? Like, what could I do now?
Radio.
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that, but then I'll become like a racist or something because I'm like losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, become like I'm not one right now.
No.
A bigot.
Just showing
I like the
tendencies.
word bigot better
Oh,
than
no,
a
you're not
racist.
any of that, sir.
But no, I
not
know.
any of
But
that.
usually, old people all of a sudden, society changes.
True. You probably don't want to put a mic in front of you as you get older. Yeah, that's the one thing.
Because you don't know the terms anymore. Terminology changes.
No. Instead, what we do with our elderly in this country is we elect them as president of the United States. A job where you're hardly ever in front of a mic. But I digress.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like, I wonder what word today is going to become like a derogatory word in the future. Like boomer? Nah, boomer, not really. What do we call young kids?
I did hear a new word, and I believe I fall into this category, but you may not. And this is younger Gen X and old millennials are called zennials.
Okay.
Born from like 77 to 83 or something. And basically you can identify with both.
Yeah, but that's not
I'm
gonna-
like, interesting. It's not really derogatory, but I'm like, I've never heard of it. Zennial.
Well, I mean, you never know in 50 years.
It could be,
like-
dude, quit being a zennial.
Why? He said the Z word.
Little bitch.
He said the Z word. But no, I need to find something
believe it's
that
with an
I
X.
believe I could do when I'm like 100. And
Okay.
I don't know what that is
Well, they
yet.
have medicine for a lot of that stuff.
Well, I
now.
mean, I like video games.
Yeah, but
So-
I can't imagine a 100-year-old playing video
I
games.
can. I feel like if I'm playing Pong right now, I feel like I'm 100 years old. Have you tried to play Pong?
No, but I did have the experience of I went back and played Mario Kart with my daughter. I think I've talked
Like
about
the
this
original
before.
Mario Kart?
Yeah, and I used to be kind of good at it. And my daughter at the time was probably 12 or 13. I'm like,
The original, though, like the Super NES.
no. I don't think. This is one that was on, I don't know, a Switch or something. Nintendo
Well, that's
Switch.
brand new.
Right, but it's still essentially the same game. And I'm thinking, yeah, little girl,
It's not essentially
you
the
don't
same
even
game.
know
It's totally different.
what's about to hit you. Your old man was pretty good at this game, and I'll be damned, she didn't whoop me over and over
Yeah.
and over again. I'm terrible at it. So I don't think it would matter if it was the original NES game or not. She'd probably whoop me on that as well.
I like it. I beat all my young kids in video games. I like it.
Well, it's gotten super cold outside, Dick. Are you surviving the polar vortex?
Yep.
Earlier this week, the cold front came through, and it was super sunny outside and really pretty. But it's like playing tricks on my mind because I'll be inside and I'll look out. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. I think I'm going to go outside. And like this frigid wind hits you in the face. You're like, good God, this is so deceiving. It's not fair, Dick. It's like 38 degrees, but it looks like it should be, 80. It's not right. But today, we've got wind and rain.
Rain, yeah. I mean, I'm cool with it. I can't imagine living in a climate that's snowing all the time for
Not me.
7 months or whatever.
Not me either.
That'd be nuts.
One of the things that annoys me too about this windy and rainy weather that we're having right now, and this happened on my way into the studio. I'm sitting at a light and the rain kind of lightened up, and so my automatic wipers slowed down. But there was a car on the other side of the intersection whose windshield wipers were still going 100 miles an hour, even though it was barely running. And I don't know why, because it's not my car, but it started to annoy me so bad. I'm like, dude, turn your wipers off, because you know it's got to sound like a duck in there that's being beat to death on his windshield. It's going, wah, wah, wah. I don't know why it bothered me.
I like it. I wanted to tell you.
Stop your wipers.
I want to tell you another car story. I don't know if I sent you or you saw this picture. I'll send it to you right now. If I didn't send it to you. Basically, I was behind this car.
Alrighty.
And we're at a stoplight, and I look up, and I was like, because you know how people do weird stuff with their car
All the time.
all the time, and I saw this
Weird stuff in their car, too.
and I was like, did he do this on purpose or what?
right.
So I just sent it to you.
Okay, I'm waiting to receive.
I can't
All
show
right,
it.
I see it.
I can't show.
Oh,
I can't show it.
you probably could. I think it is vague enough.
Yeah, so I was watching him do the brakes because it was flashing in front of me, and then it was only the left one. So the right one is full brake light.
So
the
what
left
we're looking
one,
at here, are you going to explain it?
Well, I wonder.
So what we're looking at here is a late model Dodge pickup truck with its taillight that has been fashioned to look like a middle finger. And I'm wondering if, I think it's vague enough.
That's what
It's sending the signal, but if it's only the left one, could it be just random that those other bulbs were burnt out?
I think was the case. So it got me thinking. I was like, do you think anyone's told him that? Because I immediately saw it and I thought it was a finger. Like giving the bird.
I immediately saw it as well.
And I was like, that'd be the weirdest conversation to have with somebody, because you ever had those folks who are like, hey, your tire's flat, or they're trying to get your attention. And
And especially if you're going, hey, dude, your your taillight,
taillight,
it looks like this. And you have to flip
yeah.
them off, and you're not doing like the cool one with the fingers down, like you're doing the old man one,
Ugh.
the old man version of flipping them off. He's like, oh, really?
I'm like, no, you're
And then he pulls out a piece and shoot you.
oh, yeah, now I'll show my piece.
we talking about?
We're showing pieces now. No, I was like, that conversation would be hilarious. And he's like, no way, dude. I'm like, nah, you got to see it for yourself. And so I saw that. I want to say like 2 days ago, and I was like, this is pretty funny.
Nice.
But did you have a good weekend?
So
Everything?
I did. I had an experience. Do you remember a few months ago I said the average to Good Samaritan deed that I am no longer going to adhere to was when the grocery store attendant or clerk has his light off, I'm not going to go through the line.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
You did it.
I did it. I said, you know what? I'm going through the line, man. I went to this Kroger, and it was particularly busy.
First mistake.
And the light was off. Lines were packed everywhere else. And I said, you know what? I'm going through this line anyways. Got right in, put my stuff on the belt. Things are moving along swimmingly. And I'm thinking, hey, look at this. And then karma kicks in. Since it was really busy, they didn't have a bagger. So I go around to the other side and start bagging my groceries up, doing just fine. I'm getting to the end here, and the lady says, okay, sir, your total will be $298.42. And I stop and think, I didn't spend $300 in groceries. What the heck? And I looked at her, I said, that's kind of expensive. And she said, and here's your receipt. And I said, ma'am, I didn't pay for my groceries yet. She said, yeah, you did. Here's your receipt. I said, ma'am, no, I'm bagging the groceries. I haven't paid for them yet. She said, well, it went through. And I'm scratching, and I said, ma'am, as much as I would love to just walk out here with free groceries, I didn't pay for these. And right about then, an elderly woman comes to the end of the line. She says, I didn't get my receipt. Well, what had happened was
She never completed it.
She never completed the previous order.
Oh, God.
And combined my order with hers, and that older woman paid for my groceries. Now, the process to unwind this took nearly 30 minutes. Because, wouldn't you know, this woman had to have an itemized receipt. She wanted to see all of her discounts from her Kroger card, et cetera, et cetera. So I had to go to the business center with this woman, and they had to go one line at a time trying to determine what my first item and her last item.
I would have immediately just voided it and say, come back in line, we'll get you
That's exactly what I wanted to do. But I didn't realize how long it was going to take. Meanwhile, all the other people who went through the lines with the lights on were just already out at their car, probably sipping a
That's
Chardonnay
funny,
at their house.
Yeah.
And here I am thinking, the one time
never.
I am going to continue to be an average Samaritan after this then, folks.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a complete mess.
So I talk about random encounters. I got invited out to go to the Kirby Ice House down your neck of the
You did.
woods.
I've been there before.
I got these
Largest bar I've ever seen in my
it's
entire
awesome.
life.
It's awesome. It's huge. I got invited by some girls, and I was like, all right, yeah,
you
I'm
did.
actually in town because I was already down there with my buddies. And so we go over there, and I don't know if you were so you've been there.
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
So this place is giant. It's one of those, it's almost like a brewery almost. Like
Before the show, maybe.
It's just big. It's just really big.
It's massive.
So the entrance is big. So I'm walking up to the entrance, and this guy comes around the corner, and he's like, whoa, buddy. And I was like, what the hell? And he's like, I need to see your ID. And I'm like, and this is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And I go, I don't know who you are, man, but like, I want to see your ID. And because I didn't connect that he was the doorman. Because he came out like he just came out of nowhere, and I was like, "Is this like a vagrant? Like I don't really know what's going on."
Okay,
and
I kind of understand it.
Oh yeah, because my foot was already in the door. Like I was just walking in, and they were like, he's like, hey, and I'm like, who the hell are you?
They're pretty strict about that over there.
I found out because he started giving me like a real attitude about it. And
So after he put a knee in the back of your neck, did you show him your ID?
Because
Here it is.
Because I was like, he didn't.
Don't hurt me.
When I saw him, he wasn't wearing like Kirby Ice House stuff. He wasn't wearing like it was just some dude
Yeah,
who
they
walked
don't.
around a building.
Yep.
And I'm like, sorry, man. Like I don't really know you. I don't really know what's going on. I'm not gonna bring my wallet out. Because that's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be with that
And you
guy.
can do a snatch and grab.
Yeah, that's honestly what I thought he was gonna do. And I was like, no. And he's like, well, you're not going in there. I'm like, I'm already in here. And I'm sitting there going, then I realized like, oh, he's gonna get physical with me if I keep challenging this. So I was like, all right, yeah, let me get my wallet out. So I get my wallet and I turn around.
Sure.
And I was like, here you go. He's like, thanks. And I
Did
was
you
like,
finally tell him that you didn't know he was the bouncer?
Yeah, I told him, I was like, hey man, I apologize. Like
Okay.
you came out of nowhere. I didn't see you at the door.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody at the door. So I just walked in. And then
I like how physical and aggressive you were. That was
I'm telling you, for the
at
first
you.
20 seconds, I was like, this guy's trying to rob me. Like, I'm not falling for this. I ain't no sucker. And, well, apparently, yeah. And then,
apparently you were.
and what was great about that story is, I guess he learned that he shouldn't go around the corner, so he posted up by the door. The bathroom's right by the door. So every time I went to the bathroom,
You got to pass right by him.
and I go, what's up?
That long hallway to get to the
Yeah,
bathroom. Hello, sir.
I was like, what's up? I always liked that because he really was like, oh, someone's giving me lip. I'm gonna get this little squirrel kid. Little guy's gonna be a troll. And then, but yeah, and then that was good. And then somehow I spent $100 there. I don't really know.
It's easy to do. It's not the cheapest place, but a nice ambiance.
Oh
but
yeah,
it is
it was cool
expensive.
hanging out with ladies and having fun. And then when I got the bill, I was like, man, I don't remember drinking that much.
It's expensive to have fun. All right, Dick, we've got a jam-packed show. We probably should go ahead and kick off this show. From Fox News 10 Phoenix, a 9-year-old came to a tattoo shop in Yuma, Arizona, asking for a Donald Trump tattoo with parental consent. Dick, did you hear about this child?
Wasn't it going to be on the neck?
Well, we're going to get to that. Yes, originally this person, this child, came to this tattoo shop in Yuma and wanted a tattoo of Donald Trump on her neck. Just going to say, not a good place for a tattoo in general, much less for a 9-year-old. However, they talked her out of it and decided to do a very tasteful United States flag on her shoulder. Oh, my God. The tattoo sparked debate online about how young is too young for tattooing minors.
Oh, here we go. We're
Well,
talking about this.
I was going to ask you, do you think it is cool or okay for a 9-year-old
No.
to get a tattoo?
No.
I'm surprised you say that, but I also agree with
Well,
that.
because what I wish they recorded was the start of the conversation, and then the gymnastics of trying to convince this young girl, you're not going to get a Trump tattoo on your neck, but we'll do one on your shoulder. And then you know me, it's like, no, I don't want that. I want
Yeah,
Trump.
she
I want
probably
Trump.
one the one when he's doing the fist
Yeah,
up or whatever.
something.
Yeah, blood coming out
And
of
like,
his ear.
so how do you convince a 9-year-old not
Right.
to get a tattoo on their neck,
Put a flag
get
on your
Put
shoulder,
a flag
right.
on your shoulder.
But think about if we start allowing, like if I were 9 years old, think of the type of tattoos I would have gotten. It would have been like Legos, Michael Jordan, stuff that by the time you're an adult, you probably don't want. But you know what? Honestly, though, in your position, since you have delayed maturity, any tattoo that you got at 9 would still probably be pretty dope.
yeah, I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah. It's just great.
That's one of my favorite jokes to tell people. It's like, I'm a late bloomer. Don't worry.
I mean, you
about
probably would have gotten a World of Warcraft tattoo, which, hey, still holds, man.
it. Yeah. No, I would have gotten Smog, the dragon.
Oh, Smaug.
I call him Smog.
Smog is what's in the air from your tailpipe.
Oh,
Smaug.
Smaug.
Smoke.
I don't know. Oh, it's funny. So I grew up in a house that like piercings and tattoos a big no.
Oh, yeah, same
like
with
you'll
me.
get excommunicado if you got that.
Yeah.
Living under my roof, blah
That's right.
blah blah.
That's the way it should be.
So my brother got, I think his ears pierced one time. I think I want to say it was ears or nose, one of those like rebellious things. And I remember like my mom was freaking out, blah 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 blah. So we go on vacation. So like this is 2 weeks after he got the earring, and he took me to the mall because like my mom was like, go do something, come back for dinner because we're hanging out with family friends. My brother goes to the piercing store because he wanted to. My mom was making him put a stud in
The piercing
the
pagoda.
clear one,
Sure.
and he found a magnetic earring, and he goes, "This is gonna be great."
Watch this.
He's like, "Hey, Richard, come over here." And I think at the time I was like 13 or 12 at the time, and he's like, "Put this on when we walk in," and I was like, "Okay, yeah." So we put it on, and he's like, "I want to see how long it takes for mom to notice that one." And she didn't notice it for like 2 hours, and I hated it. I wanted to take it off.
Yeah, it probably didn't feel too
It
comfortable.
didn't feel very good.
But it made you feel good inside, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it was great though. It's like straight out of a sitcom. You go into the kitchen. My mom's cooking with her friend, and we're talking. We're like, "Hey, we're gonna go outside, blah blah." And as I leave, she goes, "Richard," and I was like, "What?"
Please tell me it was like a dangly cross. It would have been great.
No, it was like a solid ball. Like it was like
Dang it.
it was like a BB.
It would have been so great.
And she's like, "You need to come here right now." I'm like, "Oh, she's really like, how does she like? Did she not see it when I was in front of her?" And she started giving me the riot act, and my brother's outside laughing.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "Ben, what's so funny?" And then he comes in and just like rips it off my ear. She's like, "Don't you rip his earring out?" And then it's like, "It's fake." And then my mom was so pissed.
You kids. Well, this was the Black Onyx Empire tattoo in Arizona, and apparently it is legal in Arizona to tattoo a minor with parental consent, but people are criticizing the tattoo shop, saying that 9 is too young to get a tattoo. And the audience of one show tends to agree.
Yeah. You want
That's
to
right.
hear another funny story how I got my mom?
Let's do it in the second half of the show.
No, you're gonna. It's
we got a lot to get
You're gonna
to.
love this.
Okay, I better love it.
You're
If
gonna
I
love
don't,
this. So my
what are you
brother,
gonna do if I don't
my
love it,
brother's 4 years older than I am, 5 years older than I am. Mm-hmm. Well, we'd always have to do yard work every weekend. Like my dad always had projects, and so
Not much has changed.
Not much has changed, and it started raining, and I shocked myself like unplugging some of the stuff. We like the blower or something
You
like that.
gave yourself a shocker.
And
Go
it
ahead.
hurt.
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh crap!" And then he's like, "What's wrong?" And I go, "I really shocked myself. Like I can't feel my arms." And he goes, "Okay, here's the deal. You're gonna go limp. I'm gonna carry you inside, okay?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Watch this. Just go limp." And then he like picks me up, and then he's like, "Mom!" And like opens the door, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Richard was messing with the electrical, and he got shocked. I don't know what's going on with him. He's not responding." And
Is this the same brother that got
Yeah,
electrocuted later in his
oh
life?
no, that was the other brother.
Okay, I'm gonna say karma again.
Yeah, that was the other brother. And I don't know if that was after or before. No, I think it was before that. But her face, she was like, "Put him on the couch. I'm calling 911."
Oh, I bet you two were great to be around as kids. Kim Jong-un cracks down on the sale of hot dogs in North Korea with the penalty of time in a labor camp. And you have talked about labor camps before on this show.
They're beautification camps.
This is crazy, but North Koreans have reportedly been banned from eating hot dogs as part of a crackdown on Western culture infiltrating the Hermit Kingdom.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But squirrel dogs are fine.
I guess so.
Or rat
It
dogs.
doesn't say anything about that. Dictator Kim Jong-un has declared that serving the sausage was an act of treason, the Sun reports, and amid a rising popularity in the South Korean dish is inspired by the U.S. It's kind of strange. Yeah.
Where did the hot dog come from?
What you mean, like originally? Nathan, right? Didn't he make it originally? I don't know what you mean. Like you're talking about in South Korea?
Well, I mean, it's a variation of a German thing. I know that, but that was like sausage. Like
Yeah, they have a different variation on it. Like anything Spam is considered like a hot dog over there. They have a spicy Korean American hot pot, which means
original-
army base stew, which includes hot dogs or Spam among some of its ingredients. All outlawed.
yeah, it came from Germany, so it's not even an American thing.
First hot dogs, next baseball. What are they going to do over there, man? But it just says it's banning the sale of it. It doesn't necessarily say that you can't eat them. So I guess you can make them like black market hot dogs in your kitchen.
I bet those taste really good.
Can you imagine?
I don't even want to know what they put in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't even want to go to North Korea if they invited
I don't
me.
think you can get in, and if you do, it's usually a one-way ticket. Well, if you do go over there, no glizzies for you.
What's a glizzy? Is that a hot dog?
Yeah, that's what the kids are calling hot dogs.
That's
Why?
that's
I
a derogatory
don't know.
term.
A glizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 50 years it'll be, quit being a glizzy, man.
I want to see if I can go to North Korea.
Check out tickets to.
Yes, you can
does
travel.
Does United
There's
fly
restrictions,
direct?
though.
United fly direct to Korea?
Yeah, before you even consider going there, you have to apply for a visa.
Yeah.
So
I bet you Kim Jong-un, though, is still enjoying his hot dogs. Just going to say that. David Lindsay loves his pup Harley, a bulldog, and his floppy-eared friend looks totally harmless, but all changed one time David was sleeping. When he was having a little nap on the couch, his pooch decided to strike on an unexpected area. David says, I was asleep on the couch when my wife walked in and shouted, Dave, the puppy is chewing your toe. My puppy had nearly chewed my entire big toe off. It chewed it down to the bone
he's
and
diabetic.
cracked it.
He's diabetic.
I'm reading this story and I'm thinking, how did you not feel it? Well, that's exactly what happened. He had some kind of condition and it made his foot numb, and he did not even know it until his dog decided to make his big toe a snack. Now, they're saying this dog is a hero, and they're like, oh, thank you for saving my life, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is,
I would never look at that dog the same.
that dog has now tasted blood.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be like,
Are you going to trust that dog at night when you're asleep? He's not going to come and start chewing on your face? Because now he's had a little bit of hot dog himself. He likes the way it tastes, man. It says that doctors found that he had not one but two blocked arteries, which is why he couldn't feel anything.
yeah, dogs are kind of wild like
But,
that.
bro, I don't think that dog was trying to tell him anything. That dog was trying to kill him. I'm serious,
Yeah.
though. But anytime that dogs attack other dogs or they're humans, they typically put them down because the thought is, once they have taste of human blood, they're never the same.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Dude, I wouldn't look at my dog and be like, oh, you did your little precious.
Well, like, I remember Freddie, the bizarre thing about her, if you ever use, like, a two-stroke engine around her, or I would say up to, like, a 5-horsepower tractor, she goes psycho.
Interesting.
Like, I was using an edger one
Oh,
time.
yeah, you told me that. She goes nuts.
And
we
she
think
grabbed
she's trying
my
to protect
yeah, she
you
grabbed my
from
ankle
it.
and tried to drag.
Yeah.
But if I start my car,
It's a different sound, I
Or
guess. Or maybe
I-
it's something.
I don't
maybe
know.
she could see the rotating of the blades.
no, even if I'm on the tractor, she's like, "You need to get off that," and she'll like bark at me and like try to like push me off, and I'm like, "Whoa, dude! Like you're
Maybe
gonna."
she ain't eating your toe. And if she
That's true.
if Freddie ate your toe, you keeping her? Like you
I
woke
would
up one
I
morning,
would
she's
shoot- I would
got
shoot
like
that
half,
dog.
like she's got ankle deep into her mouth.
I would shoot that dog and stuff it and be like,
Bet
"That's,"
you
and
would.
and when you come into the house, be like, "That's the dog who tried to eat my toe."
Well, Dave said he is keeping the dog, and he's hoping that the doctors can surgically repair his toe.
Nice.
Yeah. We were talking about old people earlier, and I think this story goes right along with that. At 94 years young, Betty Taylor from Ennis, Texas, is proving that age is just a number. A former and possibly the oldest living alumnus in the iconic Kilgore College Rangerettes, Taylor is throwing on a sequin-studded uniform to step back onto the football field with the other alums as part of the two significant celebrations this Friday, the Rangerettes' 85th anniversary and the 75th performance of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Now, when I first read this, I thought, this sounds like elder abuse. Kind of reminded me a little bit of when Dolly Parton did the halftime performance during the Thanksgiving Cowboys game last year, and she looked like she was holding on to dear life, but of course there was a stage malfunction. But no, apparently every year they have an alumni reunion for the Kilgore Rangerettes to dance. And I thought maybe they were saying, wouldn't it be great if we got this 94-year-old woman out there? But apparently she wanted to do it herself, Dick. She volunteered and said, I'm going to do it. Now, do you think she's going to wear something pretty skimpy? They said it was diamond-studded. You think she's going to put her out there in the same uniform as the other chicks?
I would.
That would be
I don't
awesome.
body shame.
I love it. It says they're known for their synchronized high kicks and impeccable precision, blah, 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 blah. But they were first founded in 1940, but I think she actually made the team in 1951.
Yeah.
And she's still out there going to dance again.
I like it. I mean, like, isn't that the whole point of that? The Rockettes, like, it's a community kind of thing too for the women. Like, it was
Yeah, man.
like it's kind of an honor thing. So if you meet an older one, you're like, I'm a Rockette, and you're a Rockette. That's awesome. We did the same thing.
I think it's similar with them as well.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Maybe my great grandmother was one. She's working out. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, more power to you,
Hey,
Betty Taylor.
Speaking of dogs, I saw this video. I don't know if you ever saw this video.
I think you've showed this actually.
I don't know.
Are you going to show a video of a dog pooping?
Well, look at
What do you? Oh, is it Skittles?
No, it's
What is that?
like Orbeez or something. It's like a
Orbeez. Orbeez.
yeah. So she ate like this dog. I don't know how much they ate, but it is coming out like. Look at that. That is intense.
In the same form that it came into the mouth,
Yeah.
it's now coming out. It does look
that
like
poor dog.
it's.
Look, she's like, is it over yet?
He tasted the rainbow, did he not?
Look at that's great. That's a great little.
That is.
video,
All right, I want
video
you to,
for our onesies
I
today.
want you to play this video before we go to break. It does contain an expletive, but I believe
I'm not playing sound.
that we
I'm not doing it.
can. I believe we can play it. Dick, please play a video from a Tampa area city council meeting last Thursday when it became quite a topic of debate. Not about policy, but whether the legislative aide Carrie Henriquez said a vulgar word at the tail end of a cough as she walked behind a man who defeated her husband last month to head the board. Please
All right.
play this audio.
I got an ad.
love
Let
this.
me get the ad out of the way.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit the post again, man. All right, play this. This
So-
is great.
All right, I'm gonna start it over.
Yeah, you gotta
get
say.
get it loaded for our boys.
And what you're seeing
And
there is
girls.
a city council.
City council. Oh, these
They're
are
all standing up at the.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, we move on to our workshop agenda to ceremonial activities for presentation of commendation for Officer of the Month. Councilman Citra.
Okay.
okay. I can tell.
Now, did you recognize anything in that cough,
Yeah.
or was that just a just happened to walk by him and cough? It was the very, it was the very childish a-hole as
Yeah,
she
I
coughed
liked
and
it.
walked by
I
this
liked it.
guy. I love it, man. This is a grown woman who's implementing the standard tactic of the 7th grade to cough and curse at the same time. Dick, did you ever try that and get away with it?
No. Oh, why would I hide it?
I'm just going to say it. I
No.
love it. So childish.
No, because I remember in the grade school, like you had the bad words, but then there's also like other words you could say that represent it,
Okay.
like "puck you."
Whoa, that was awfully close. Mhm.
Yeah, but like if I said like I could say it, and people don't know what that is, and it's
I can
like
also say you're quite a.
like you vacuum,
Okay, look at you.
and that's what we would do, and then
Yes, but you're also not in the city council. All right, pretty
True.
good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about driving in circles.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
welcome back to Audience of 100. That's right, the 100th episode. I've been sitting across from Andrew.
How long have you been holding on to that one?
Actually,
Ayo.
I literally just did it on top of my head. That's how I do everything. I never prepare,
All right.
ever. And
We're off the cuff meets with a plan. The audience of one show.
That's right. You are the one with the plan. And we got a great second half here for you guys. Just a quick reminder to follow us on social media, Audience of One Show on Facebook. And, of course, Lone Star Community Radio, where we broadcast and host the show, irlonestar.com/ALL. For all the other shows, we're on podcasts, whatever. We're on YouTube, Lone Star Community Radio, every Friday at 10 a.m., part of the
right.
morning programming here, which, if you're an avid listener of Lone Star, we're working on adding more morning programs. I have to be up here before 7 a.m. for every weekday now. And
Like a grown up. It's crazy, man.
well, actually, I had gotten to that conversation with my brother, So the one who carried me in from being electrocuted,
Your lifeless body.
limp body, and then
Earring dangling.
he owns his own IT business, and he's been doing it for I don't know 20 years now, and he's
Should really get him to sponsor the show.
no, he's already done enough for me. I don't need. I've gotten to that point in my life where I don't ask anything from my family.
Yeah, you're like,
Because they already give me
even
so
like
much.
money.
They just give me so much. I know they just give me money.
Yeah, it's
I don't.
crazy,
I don't
right?
ask for that. No,
Okay.
it's true.
I'll take more money. Go ahead.
That's how
continue.
our family works. But we were talking about if we were able to even do a normal job, because when he graduated, he started working at the IT business, and
Right.
within like 2 years, he was like running the show.
Similar to you in this station is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Could we be assimilated into normal society?
Yeah, and we had that conversation. And I was like, a normal job. I don't know if I could get up when I'm being told.
Yeah. You do have a bit of an issue following directions. I'll say that. Or taking orders, I should say. Maybe not following directions.
What's not orders? I mean, I listen to you guys a
Can't
lot,
tell me nothing.
but it's more of like, for example, I naturally wake up around 6, naturally, but
PM.
AM.
Okay.
But if I set an alarm, I'll sleep till the
So
alarm.
you're fighting the alarm because the alarm is telling you to get up. You're like,
No,
you can't tell me
even-
nothing.
Even it's weird. It's really weird, and I'm like, if I set the alarm at 6:01 or like 5:59, I'm like, I'm so tired. This sucks. But then if I don't, and I'm like, oh, I'm just getting up. I'm like,
It's a
doing my
psychological thing. You're doing it on your own. I
Yeah.
don't want this machine to tell me what to do.
So that's one that I was like, I don't know if I could get a job where I had to be somewhere.
Unless
at
it's
a
your
certain
wife
time.
robot, then you'll listen to her though. That machine you'll listen to.
It depends if there's a popsicle involved. But
I don't even know what that means.
take that as you will. But yeah, no, it's just funny. I always love talking to my brother, and I was like, because we're both very similar, and he's like, I don't really know, because he set up the business now where he can answer phone like kind of like remote,
Sure.
but he likes going to the office because that's where all the physical, like when
Right.
they're building, like installing servers and stuff. He likes to overlook everything and do everything there because servers are giant, man. And but yeah, he's like, I don't want to be told where to go, when to go. But as long as if a client wants me there, I'll be there on time. But I always make sure it fits my schedule. But yeah, welcome back to the audience.
Yes,
of
welcome back to the audience of 100, baby.
Yeah, so we got a great rest
Yeah,
of the
we
show.
do, man.
I'm excited. You should. We found this video. We're
Yeah,
gonna play it later.
We'll get to it. I'm just going to start off by saying, generally speaking, Dick, I am against bullying and making fun of people, but I do think that there is a certain level of it that is necessary for the survival of the species.
Really?
And here's what I mean, because more than once over the break, I saw people out in public wearing their pajamas. And
Well,
I think
what is a pajama to you?
I'm talking about full bottom and top
Matching. Okay.
pajamas.
Because when I think of pajamas, I think of like that standard, not like the.
Not like a onesie or
Well,
like a
like the
furry thing.
1980s, the dad always had that blue, the
Yeah, right.
the
Yeah,
blue
yeah,
pajama
no.
with the big white buttons. Like
Yeah, no, in
obviously-
this case, I think they were holiday themed, right? Like they had little
Yeah.
snowmen on them or Santa Claus. So maybe they thought they could get away with it then. But I think all of this negative around bullying and making fun of people has allowed other people to do things that they really shouldn't be doing in public.
Well,
I
like-
think we need to bring it back. If we make fun of these people, then they won't wear pajamas out in public anymore.
Is
Dave.
it still considered bullying if like it's you and me going?
Make it a spectacle.
Like, hey, he says, guys,
That's
so
not
stupid.
That's not making fun. You got to make sure that they hear it
No.
and see it. Point.
Because remember that guy? Were you there?
Make
with
it
me
awkward.
when that dude was wearing a fanny pack while bowling. And I was like, that guy's making a brave move right now, and I don't know why he's doing it. And I don't know if he's like a little okay in the head and like he has to have his fanny pack on him at all times. I don't really know, but it looked very uncomfortable, and he was
To me,
sporting it.
that's not.
And he's a two-hander bowler.
To me, that's not the same, though. Wearing a fanny pack, it may not. That is a bold fashion choice,
Yeah.
but it's not the same thing as going out in public and wearing your pajamas, right? There's a time and a place for it, and we need to make fun of these people so that they understand this is not acceptable behavior, Dick. I'm going to start it right now.
It's called social media. Take a picture of him and blast him.
Blast it. Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
That was my favorite online bowling recently. I totally forgot about this rapper, Eve. Remember Eve? The rapper?
No.
You don't remember Eve the rapper?
No. Female?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes,
So
I do.
apparently she married this guy way back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. And they posted pictures. I'll pull up the pictures for you.
Okay.
They pulled up the pictures of their Christmas photos with their family. And everyone said, you're too white. And I was like, what is that? What is that supposed to mean?
As someone who is pretty darn white, I'll be the judge of that.
And let's see.
I think you can be a pretty good judge of that, too. If anybody can judge whiteness, it's the two of us. Audience One Show. The whitest show on community radio.
No, and they were going, you read some of the comments, and I was like, man, that's really
But I
mean.
bet they don't post a picture like that again.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
I was wondering because I was
so,
like,
Dick, you're suggesting next time I see someone out in public, take a picture, make sure they know I'm taking a picture, I suppose, and
Yeah.
blast them on
Let's
social
see-
media.
let's see if
like,
I can find it.
Like normal people do these days. You have a point.
I'm trying to find it because it's not even on the husband's Instagram.
They probably took it down.
They took it
Yeah.
down. Those punks.
So speaking of like lounging wear, when you get home from work, do you change your clothes, or are you typically in the same clothes till the end of the night?
So, it's funny. The way I've operated now, since I'm alone and single, I can do whatever I want. I basically wear clothes that my activities when I'm doing. So, for example, if I'm going to bed and I take a shower at any time, in the shower room in the bathroom,
It's called a bathroom.
I have a closet with towels.
Right.
So I took all of my
linen closet.
I took all my shirts that I can get dirty, all my gym shorts, anything that I know I can mess up.
Mm-hmm.
And I created a little cabinet area for just that clothes. So if you go into where my main dresser is, you won't find any of that stuff.
Okay.
So I do that. So if I know I'm working outside and stuff, I can just go in there, and that's where
Okay.
I keep that over there. And then outside,
I'm just wondering if you worked a normal job and you had your dress clothes on that you have every day, when you got home for the evening, are you immediately putting on your PJs, or are you going to stay in those clothes till it's time to go to bed? I'm going to stay in the general clothes. Now, when I worked at
depends
an
on the
office
job.
and I had to dress up in slacks and long sleeves, I would come home and get into more loungy wear the second I got home. But I'm not immediately putting on PJs. There's some intermediate wear. And of course, those clothes, they're not quite dirty.
All right,
because you didn't wear them very long, so they always go in the back of a shirt or a back of a chair. That's the resting place before they get really dirty to go in the wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the photo.
Oh, she married a gentleman that looks awfully like you and I. She looks great.
Like
by
a
the
white
way.
guy, yeah.
Yes, very white. She looks great.
I know, but
Are all of those her kids?
I think couple.
Good God. It looks like 20 people in that picture.
But
Okay, so they're not dressed up in pajamas or anything. They're dressed very formally.
it's
but
very
people,
fancy.
But
I would
people
call
are
it
saying
fancy.
they're white for this behavior is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Whatever. Yeah.
and I was like,
I think they look
that's bullying,
very nice.
right?
Of course.
That's bullying.
I am white, so.
So
case you
I
haven't
want to
noticed.
know what bullying is.
Speaking of rap, every time I hear a good rap song,
Yeah.
it'll be on the back of a reel or something. I'm like, man, that's a pretty good song. I'm gonna who's the artist? I'll go and check it out. I'm like, maybe I like this artist, and I'll find that song. The song is good, and I'll go and hear the next song from him. Generally sucks, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I don't listen to rap music.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't, man. I kind of feel like I should, because if I'm grooving to that thing at that level, maybe there's other songs I like, but no, there usually isn't. There usually
Well, there's
isn't.
the best of the best. Like Tribe Called Quest, a lot like the Low End Theory is probably one of the best rap albums. From
That's
start
like
to
25
finish.
or 30 years old, though.
I know, but it's I'm talking about the album. Every
Yeah.
song on it's pretty great.
We're not the best ones to judge
And
rap.
yeah.
All right,
I
sticking
can
with
judge
rap
whatever I
again.
want. What are you talking about?
Shocking footage captured the moment a Texas rapper
I'm not
named
showing you my ID.
Too Low, that's right, you are pretty street, shot himself live on air last week when the gun in his pocket accidentally fired. Dick, go ahead and play the segment
All right, let me
from
load it up.
their
Let
podcast.
me load it up for you guys. Here we go. I gotta.
And choices we got in life, those were your choices.
Cool.
Hold on, let me rewind it because
It's interesting.
see
So
us.
what you see
You're
are two
covering it.
guys that are.
We're covering.
Oh,
it.
I'm covering them up.
Yeah,
okay, you have to
sorry.
make it a full screen. You got two guys sitting
And
across the
choices
table.
we got in life, those
And they're
were
having a
your
podcast. Now, he is digging and fiddling in his pocket. I guess he's reaching for a Tic Tac or something. The gun accidentally.
Somebody got shot.
I hope y'all good.
What I think is interesting is how calm the host just was like, hey, man, somebody gets shot? Like, this is a
Well-
common occurrence.
He has headphones on.
That's true, but I mean, it just still, like, if I heard a gunshot
Plus,
go off in the
I don't
studio,
think that's a high.
I'm not going
a
to say,
big
did
caliber
someone
gun.
get shot?
That's not a big caliber.
I'm going to say, oh my God, someone got shot. There's a difference.
That sounded like someone popped an outlet.
He doesn't appear to be hurt. You did see the gun blast go off in his pants.
Yeah.
And just the heat from that shell and everything you think would be painful, and the blast from the muzzle of that gun, even if it is a small caliber. But he shoots himself while he's on a podcast. Dick, maybe this is what you and I need to do to boost some numbers for the audience of 100, is shoot. Just fire a gun off in the middle of a conversation.
Nope.
Too low. The show is called One-on-One with Mike D. So shout out to Mike D. I'm going to stick with music for a little while since that seems to be a popular conversation piece right now. If you grew up in the MP3 era, chances are you had at least one go-around as a member of the Columbia House Mail Order Music Club. Dick, do you remember the Columbia House music clubs, or was this before your time?
Yeah, I know exactly. I thought it was a scam.
Well, it kind of was. And if you aren't familiar with it, basically this was a mail order, typically in catalogs and stuff or magazines, where they would advertise for 1 penny. You could get like 11 CDs or 8 CDs. And you know, you're a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid. You have no money. You're like, yeah, this is great. And you would sign up for it and get all these CDs. But what you didn't realize is you were signing up for a monthly subscription for like, I don't know, $40 after that. Now, you were still able to get an additional 3 per month at the regular price of $16, but none of the kids did that. And you never knew how to unsubscribe either, right? I think that was the problem.
Yeah, I wonder how that worked back then. These like write a handwritten letter with like, I want to cancel here's my account number, here's my...
And that's the reason why I bring it up. First of all, I think as a child, you can't legally enter into a contract like that. So I think they had some issues enforcing it amongst children. With adults, it may have been different. But it says the underlying model for Columbia House was a pretty simple setup known as negative option billing. Basically, once you sign up for a membership or a club or service, you start getting monthly shipments unless you expressly tell the club you don't want them. Of course, you also get a bill. Negative option billing has actually been illegal in Ontario since 2005, but it's still legal here in the good old United States.
In the 70s.
It says, though there are a few caveats, the Federal Trade Commission requires that any club or service offering a negative option plan must clearly and conspicuously indicate minimum purchase obligations, cancellation procedures, and the frequency with which members must reject shipments. So back in the day, you probably couldn't find the cancel option. It's like the tiny little X button on an advertisement. You're trying to get the dang thing off your web
Well, not
page.
even that. Like, think about...
Can't find them.
Think about working at the Columbia and you're a kid and you put your 1 cent or 10 cent or whatever it was in an envelope.
You got your Paula Abdul.
And you write down what you want and then you send, like, so they're getting...
Boys to Men.
They're getting mail with, like, a penny in it.
Poison.
So, but in the 70s and 60s, you paid by mail a lot of things.
B-52s.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, you're always paying your bill. I think a lot of people pay their bill by mailing, like, cash.
Of course. Yeah, you did. Pennies in the mail.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're a Columbia
I
House
think
and you're a kid, you're...
yeah, because you're not going to have a checkbook.
Yeah, you're like, here's your penny.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, how did they get that initial payment? I don't think they cared about it.
Well, I know, but it's just funny.
Well, I never signed up for one. I don't think my parents would allow me, but I did have friends that did it.
You're working there, and you're like, you got to do all this paperwork. Here's the penny.
Yeah, exactly. It comes in the mail. Like,
Here's
God.
the penny.
Yeah, I did have friends that did it, and they were pretty much God there for a little while when they got their Belle Biv DeVoe that first time. You're like, oh my God, this is so awesome. But I don't know what happened after that. Because eventually you start running out of songs and stuff that you want. Like, oh my God, I don't want any more
Unless
CDs.
you're like a music head or something where you go into the record store all the time.
Yeah, you're like, look, the Might Be Giants. That's a good one. Bro. The FTC really dropped the hammer on the company that didn't comply with the regulations. In 2009, it reached a $1 million settlement with the online company Commerce Planet, which had been offering free online auction kit and blah, blah, blah. So basically there's been some litigation since then that, blah, 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 that makes this illegal. But there for a while, it was the Wild West, and they were like preying on children mostly. I mean, this was just aimed at kids to do this. I don't know of any adults that really did it. It was all kids going, bro.
No, again, if you're a music person, like, you're like, yeah, I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, they did make a lot of money. At one time, they were pulling in billions of dollars because they were set up in such a way that even if they only got the contract for a month, those 3 that they sold at regular $16 price still made them buku monies, right? Buku money.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
A Waymo passenger nearly misses his flight after driving his car in circles. Dick, I love this. We've talked about the automated taxis, and you think this would be great because you can get your booze and your sex on while you're getting to your final destination. But this is what happens when these things go wrong. A Los Angeles tech entrepreneur found himself trapped in a self-driving taxi last month on his way to the airport when the car repeatedly circled around a parking lot.
Yeah.
I love this. It says Mike Johns posted a video on LinkedIn. I wonder why LinkedIn and not like TikTok. That's because he's a tech entrepreneur, in which he was headed to Sky Harbor International Airport in Phoenix. Johns was still able to catch his flight, but was left dizzy and frustrated by the experience with the taxi from Waymo, blah, 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 blah. So basically when he contacted them, he said, what's going on? I feel like I'm being pranked. By the fourth loop, he was starting to feel dizzy. And Waymo said they were unable to stop the car through their own automated system and asked him to do it through the app, which is kind of weird and a little scary that they don't have the ability to stop this thing. Are you still wanting to get in one of them? I know you're like, yeah, bud. The Waymo representative can be heard telling Johns they couldn't control the car themselves, and he needed, again, like I said, to use the app to resolve the issue.
I like it.
He had to temporarily pause the ride and find a spot to pull over. I think it's kind of funny.
I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I did too. Dick, are you a hugger? I think you are.
Yeah, 100%.
I think so. I think you've given me a hug, especially after a couple of beers. I hug you back. I don't necessarily.
Hug everybody.
Yeah, you do.
You're not special.
Oh. Well, I thought this was interesting. The benefits, 12 benefits of a hug. A hug can, 1, reduce stress.
There you go.
It can improve your mood, reduce fear and pain, and calm your nerves. But just how many hugs a day do you think are needed for good health, Dick?
I would say at least 12.
Really?
Yeah.
You're giving 12 hugs a
Yeah.
day? That seems inappropriate. Well, this says 8 hugs a day for maintenance and 12 hugs a day for growth.
There you go.
Now, it doesn't say who you have to hug, though. So I'm wondering if you're
hug
just kind of
everybody.
walking down the street and you're starting to, you've got like you're low on your hug count for the day. If you just
Yeah.
start hugging strangers, I got to get to my growth. Although if you're hugging people and
I've
growing,
already given about 7 hugs today.
uh-oh, you're low.
Yeah.
This means there's
but the
gonna be
day's
some-
not over yet,
there's
and
gonna be
we're going to the bowling alley.
Yeah, there's going to be
so-
some hugs at the bowling
Everybody
alley.
hug me. Well, no, see, what's interesting about that, and there's a big difference between being a hugger and a huggy.
Uh-huh.
So does a huggy count?
What does that even mean?
So if I give you a hug,
receive,
if I
is
give
that
you a hug,
dual?
does that count for you?
You're like,
as
oh,
a
man,
hug?
that's great. I needed some hugs too. And can you do like the same person over and over
Yeah.
again?
No,
And that counts like
that's
2 or
a
3?
little weird. We should put that on TikTok. And
That's a little weird. That's where you draw the line. Not hugging strangers for your hug count. Bro, I need growth.
yeah.
I'm telling you, man. If you start hugging people and tell them it's for growth, you're getting the cops called on you.
that legless sailor over is that New York or whatever.
That was in
Florida.
Florida. Yeah,
I give him a hug.
Would you?
Yeah.
But that would only be 3/4 of a hug.
That's true. That's true. That's funny, man. I like how you laughed that hard at your own joke. Come on now.
Because it was a banger.
Yeah, it was not a banger. It was not that funny. That's good.
Doctor
What's
says
the most awkward hug you've ever given?
probably the one with you last week, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird, dude. Like, because you touched my butt.
I don't know. I think the most awkward hug I ever had was when
No, I don't know. I was just kidding about that. It wasn't awkward at all.
it's probably when my ex-wife was like, it was the last time I was ever going to see her. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, just
So do we shake hands now?
No,
what do we do?
she come like I was like, I'm just leaving. Like, see you later.
Do we dap it up?
And
I
she's
mean,
like,
what are we doing here?
She came up to me, and I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm gonna give you a hug." I'm like, "For what?"
It's a divorce hug, duh. Now she's gaslighting you on the way out.
Oh, it was so funny to me. I was like, I was like, and what's great about my ex is she's like really tiny, so it's like this little dog humping me, and I'm like,
Sorry, what?
it's like that's what she, like. If I wasn't hugging back. I was sitting there going,
Did you do like a side hug on her? Or did you just stand
No,
there like...
she came in for a side
Did
hug.
you just stand
and I
there
was
like Bill Lambier in the paint, and she just hugged you while your arms were in the air?
just like that. Because I was like, whoa, what are you doing? And then she's like, I want to give you a hug. I'm like, I don't want a hug from you. And she's like, well, I'm giving you one. I'm like, I do not accept it.
Yeah, that's true. Can you unreceive a hug?
And then I spit on her floor.
Oh, my God.
I was
No,
like,
you
that's what I
didn't.
think of
No,
you.
you didn't.
And then I did the upside down peace sign. I'm like,
That is so awkward.
And then
No, that is an awkward.
and
No,
then-
it doesn't matter what hug story I have. It's not going to beat that one.
Well, no, I loved it though, because I was like, "Is she really coming in for a hug? Like, this is great." And I'm like,
But like, what? Okay, you know what you should have done? In typical Dick fashion, she comes in for the hug. Instead of rejecting it,
"Take off your pants."
you could implement that move. No, you just
One
start.
more? One more for
you
the road?
You just start hugging back.
Oh yeah.
And just awkwardly long.
And,
And,
like,
then she's like, "Okay, that's enough." You're like, "No, I'm
No,
not
you're
done.
one of this.
I'm not. Yeah, this you asked for this."
And then
then all of a sudden she's like, "Dang it, this is a really bad idea." You're like, no, I'm not finished.
yeah. Oh no, I wanted nothing to do with that situation. I was
This is
like,
this is for my growth. This is hug number 12 on the day. Yes. I wonder if they got those.
does that count? I don't know.
I wonder if they got those on like the what are those the watches, the health watches.
Oh yeah.
A number of steps.
How
All right,
many
I'm
hugs?
at 8,000 steps. Oh crap, I'm only at 7 hugs. Come here, homie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember. Like that was probably the most awkward hug, just because like I didn't want it. I've probably done that to people though, trying to give them a hug, and they're like, "Oh, whoa." But I do love people that go, "I'm a hugger." Those are my favorite. I'm like, "Oh, really? Let's do this then."
Yeah, call your bluff.
Yeah, and but I always love that. "Oh, I'm a hugger, so you got to come over here. Well, you're the one who wants the hug. Like,
Yeah, but you don't even
come to
do.
me.
You do implement the bro hug with the one arm in between, like a safety arm. You know, because it's like, that's cool. I think that still counts. But when the chests touch, that's intimate.
I'll go for bear hug.
Yeah, you do. See, that's not a bro hug.
Like all my nieces and nephews, when I chase them, I'm like,
That's family,
I'm
I
giving a big
suppose.
hug. I'm like, we don't give side hugs. We give bear hugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're children, Nick.
Yeah,
Careful.
I want them to cough. I'm like, all right.
Speaking of growing, Dick, did you ever have growing pains as a kid?
Like late bloomer growing pains? What do you mean? Like my body hurt?
Yeah, growing pain. Are you not familiar with what growing pains are?
Yeah, well, I
it
mean,
wasn't just a bomber of a TV show in the 80s, man.
I mean, but I was very active, so I don't know if it was more of my muscles being sore from like running around for every day.
rampant growth of your muscles.
Well, I was running around every day for a solid like 9 years, and then I realized, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, growing pains are often described as an ache or a throb
Yeah.
in the legs, often in the front of the thighs, the calves, or behind the knees. Growing pains tend to affect both legs and occur at night and may even wake a child from sleep. I didn't have.
I guess I'm still having growing pains.
Are you?
I told you that when the knee doctor inspected my knee, and he's like, "Hey, your growth." This is. I was 20, I think like 21 at the time, and he's like, they go through my knee because I tore a bunch of stuff, and he's like, "Oh man, we can't operate on you," and I was like, "What? Why not?" And he's like, "Your growth plates are still there," and I'm like, "I'm still growing."
At 21?
At 21.
Yeah, I grew all the way until I was about 22.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Well, this also makes sense. Although these pains are called growing pains, there's no evidence that the growth actually hurts. Growing pains may be instead linked to a lower pain threshold or, in some cases, psychological issues.
Yeah, I don't really remember like pain. I just remember being sore from doing whatever.
Oh, it's just my psychological issues acting up again.
Because I was climbing fences every day, so I was pretty rough on my body because I didn't really care.
Yeah, I never had. Well, I mean, I guess I did call them growing pains, but I always, or I called them shin splints. Sorry, I didn't call them growing pains. I would have shin splints, and the front of my shins would hurt when I was, anywhere
I
from
used to
10,
play
11,
hockey,
12, 13, 14
so it
years
always
old.
hurt. My shins always hurt, so I don't know if that was growing pain or not.
I don't know either. But I know some kids really have what they call growing pains in the middle of the night, waking up, legs just killing them.
That's weird.
Yeah, well,
Not
you're a
enough
weird
milk,
guy.
Not
so
enough milk.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But thank goodness I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Do we have pains when we get smaller? When we get older?
Get older, there's a lot of pains in getting older.
Well, I mean,
trust
is
me.
that what they're called? What do they call them? Dying pains? What do they call them?
I don't know. Osteoporosis.
See, I think that's why I like being hungover all the time because it confuses my brain. Like, so it could be like a real medical condition, or it's just you're hungover. Like,
Hey, man, I love this. I don't know if I'm actually having a heart attack or I just drank too much. This is great.
I mean,
Great.
it could be either or, man.
Could be having an episode or
Oh,
maybe it's just one too many
I want to show
Michelobs.
you this. Look at this guy.
I love how you justify the hangover there. It's fantastic. Hadn't thought about that before.
Well, I mean, when you've been drinking as much as I have and as long as I have, you're kind of like, it was a Tuesday.
Somehow you stumble into transitions to the next stories just like a radio genius here.
Well, you know what?
The next story is
I try
perfectly
to
in
be
line
smart.
with this.
I try to be smart.
What are you trying to show me?
Well,
go ahead
I'll
and
find it. You keep
Okay.
talking to me.
Well, Limp Bizkit, do you remember the 1990s Limp Bizkit band?
Yeah, dude.
There is a Limp Bizkit inspired Fred Thirst IPA beer.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Which is kind of interesting. Fred Thirst is a takeoff, obviously, of the lead singer of Limp Bizkit, whose name is Fred Durst. But did you know that Durst is actually German for thirst?
Interesting.
So maybe it's not all that creative. I don't know. But there was a post-Limp Bizkit inspired the Fred Thirst IPA beer here. First appeared on Consequence. I'm not sure if this is another social media platform, Consequence. I haven't heard of it. I don't know. Anyways, they've hit stores courtesy of a Dallas brewery and tap room, Celestial Beer Works. And I have to admit, I have heard of this Celestial Beer Works before, having lived in that area. It says, while it appears that the IPA is not an officially licensed product, the design pays full homage to the Limp Bizkit singer Fred Durst. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Is it me, or I feel like Limp Bizkit, for some reason, is really popular, but I missed where they became popular.
Well, they became popular in about 1998, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah.
With One of Those Days, I think was probably one of their big hits. I was never a huge fan, but, I didn't hate them, certainly. They were everywhere. You couldn't really escape them, and now he's on my beer.
It's like for 2 songs, though, right?
Yeah, they didn't have a huge catalog, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I was so confused because I see them on big tour now, like giant stadium. And I was
Well, that's what happens. As your audience grows with you, typically they get into positions where they're making a little more money. And that's the key, is you get popular, wait about 10, 15 years, and then come back on a reunion tour and charge like $400 a tickets. And then you can retire. That's exactly what's happening.
Okay, yeah, I didn't really know.
I mean, their audience has got to be all in their 40s and 50s by now, at least, right? And so you would think that's probably peak earning years, and they're thinking, let's exploit this for everything it's worth. We got a lot of guys going through midlife crises. They need to put their hats on backwards, do a little white man anger, listen to some Limp Bizkit.
Here you go.
Because it was very white man anger music, for those of you who didn't listen to Fred Durst. All right, what is this video we finally found?
Speaking of Limp.
Oh, is this going to be like gross, where somebody
Just watch.
gets a leg?
It's nuts.
Oh, what did I just
And then
watch?
he just passes out.
Did he just die on the soccer field?
No, I think he had a stroke in mid.
Yeah, it looked like he
Like-
just ragdolled. So for those of you who are just listening, not watching, there's a corner kick and
And
a
he-
soccer match, and this guy goes to do a header and just
right when it hits his head.
actually
he goes,
just moments before it looks like
he just goes limp.
he just limps,
and
falls
goes face first.
face first, legs are kicking. I don't know why this is entertaining. I thought we were watching a man die right in front of us. That is kind of shocking.
No, he's fine. I would have never done
Oh,
that.
of course
That's
not.
bullying.
Yeah.
This isn't bullying.
Yeah, you have way more taste than that.
But when I saw that, I was like, dude, that would be the craziest thing to witness. Yeah.
From MSN Health, a past case of a surgeon having accidentally transplanted a rare type of cancer from a patient into himself during a procedure has resurfaced and renewed interest, per the Daily Mail. This is kind of nuts, but a patient identified as a 32-year-old man from Germany, no relation to Fred Durst or Thirst, was having a malignant fibrous histiocytoma, a rare type of cancer, removed from his abdomen in 1996. The doctor, identified as a 53-year-old, accidentally cut his hand, which was reported to be disinfected and bandaged immediately during the procedure before noticing a small lump developing 5 months later.
Yo!
The medical team concluded that the surgeon caught the cancer after the tumor cells entered the wound on his hand. The researchers have said the incident was a one of its kind event, as the body typically mounts an immune response and rejects any foreign tissue, though the tumor's development and growth suggests that the doctor's body had an ineffective anti-tumor immune response.
Yeah.
This bro caught cancer.
He probably woke up like, I feel hungover, or I got cancer in my hand.
See,
dude.
if this were you, you wouldn't have any issues with this. But that is interesting. I'm thinking because it was 1996, he's probably elbow deep in this guy. Whereas now they basically have machines that do most of the operating on your.
Now I want to get operated on and tell the doctor, just get elbow deep in me, man. Just take care of it. Whatever it is, just take care of it. Elbow deep.
Sounds like your Tinder profile. Just take care of it, elbow deep.
No, it'll say if we connect, I'll go elbow deep. See, that one was funny. I'm going to use that line today. I'm going to use that line tonight on somebody. It's like,
Go for it.
Oh,
Okay, just
I already got it.
whatever thought you're
So,
having,
is
just
this-
let it go. Just let it go.
When people, like right before you start bowling, people are like,
This
"Oh,
would be
good
an
luck,
inside joke.
good luck, good luck." I'm like, "Let's go elbow deep, baby." And like, oh yeah, I love it. This is gonna be so good.
But it is kind of weird. I guess I didn't realize that you could, quote, catch cancer, but I guess if you're
I imagine like, why don't you eat it?
eat cancer, I don't think you can catch it from eating it.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know why you want to eat it, but people
My assumption-
people eat placenta.
What-
so
excuse me? They eat
people,
what?
People eat placenta.
And what if the placenta had cancer on it? I
don't
don't.
know.
I think your body would just digest it, right?
Maybe we can come out with a new sauce.
What?
It's called cancer.
But that is pretty wicked. I guess.
Yeah,
like
I feel
said,
sorry
this guy,
for that
yeah,
guy.
caught cancer.
Well, what happened to the German fella? Did he die? The one who actually was originally getting operated on?
No, he went through a successful surgery,
Wonderful.
but then he died from complications afterwards.
That's terrible.
It says the surgeon underwent an extensive exam on the tumor, which was removed despite no abnormal findings. So, yeah, of course, the doctor survives, but the patient, whom he dismembered and disfigured, dies. All right, it's a good time for the quick hit here at the end of the show. Dick, are you aware that orcas aren't reviving the dead salmon hat trend, despite a viral photo, experts say? Pretty interesting, but a recent photo of an orca swimming with a salmon on its head has fueled speculation that the fad, first observed in the 1980s, has reemerged off the coast of Washington state. This is pretty weird, man. But there's, back in the 1980s, an orca off the west coast of the United States started a strange trend that apparently was quickly adopted by not just her, but her entire pod. And individual, they call the whales individuals from other pods, wearing dead salmon as hats. So these guys would go around.
Where's the picture?
It's pretty intense. I mean, you can see a whale in there, but I guess that's the salmon on its head there. But I want to know, is it like a fitted salmon? Because it looks, how does it stay on their head? I mean, do they open it up and squeeze it over the top?
I'm doing a lot more research than you are. I'm getting a video of it.
I want to see it, bro. It says, but after the orcas took to carrying the dead salmon on their heads, the behavior disappeared, or seemingly just went out of style. Man, these salmons on our heads, it's so 1986. We're moving on to...
I can't tell it's real or not.
We're moving on to hammer pants, big baggy pants.
I can't tell
in the
if it's
early
real.
90s, before they went on to like some starter jackets, 94.
I mean, I like it. I like to wear my kill.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. I can't believe this would be behavior that apparently they were doing.
There's not a lot of pictures. Like,
as-
this is fake.
as style.
This is fake news.
This is from Smithsonian.com.
Oh, that's one of the worst culprits of fake news.
Shut up. By the way, the story we were sent from a listener of the stripper who gave birth on the...
Sage? Was it
that
fake?
Is from a... Yeah, I know. Is from a, what do you call it, satire site.
Would you pay to watch that?
No. So filling in the onesies.
I was
This is an
thinking-
off-air conversation that we had.
I was thinking about that because how extreme that scenario was. And you're there to go see a stripper, and then it's also like, oh, she's pregnant. And, half people are like, oh, I don't want to see a pregnant woman. Get
This
up.
wasn't like 4 months. Hey, is she pregnant? I think she's showing...
No, she was like...
She was 9.5 months pregnant,
So-
dancing because the money was just too good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So people who were there wanted to watch that. And
Right.
then when the baby comes, you're like, I'm still watching this.
Yeah, and that's when more cash comes out. She's like, look, this is a great Christmas for me.
Yeah, it's a college fund.
So we were going to do
we
this
all,
story.
we passed the hat for the college fund.
We were sent this story and reading it yesterday after the show, after we recorded last week, just dying at the fact that we were going to cover this week, when it was made apparent that this is a satire site and it's not a real story. Darn it, I so wanted it to be. Oh, well.
Yeah, these pictures look fake as heck.
Well, those pictures you're looking at probably are. But anyways,
yeah.
I just think it's interesting that it was a fad amongst whales, and it apparently has come back. I don't know what will be next. I don't know. Maybe they'll start wearing hoodies.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Maybe some AOO merch. All right, bud. It's a good show, buddy.
That's actually a
Till
good
next
idea.
week. I'm so glad we got to get in 100 of these bad boys. Can you believe it? Time has flown by.
On to the next 100. You're listening to Audience of One.
Like, share, follow, everyone. Bye-bye. Next week.